Yo, what's up? Unseen Honest here, back at it again with another video. Today we're going to be looking at my winning deck list for Meteor Stop Off. Uh, let's get into it. Yeah, so of course we play the most generic cards, Crash, Beast, Phantom Adder, Spoons. And then for activators we also play Monument to Creation because this format is really heavy in draw cards like Thorngabork, Relohex Mine, and Wakooman. So yeah, Monument to Creation is pretty good. Also versus Bugs, they'll play Batera, so that's another reason to use Monument. Feels just a super strong card. You get to block your opponent's attacks, and so yeah, that's always good. And then Relic Mine is just a really good consistency card, so you draw into your best cards faster. You'll notice I don't play Point Turret or AAA. The reason I don't play Point Turret is because I'm trying to apply a lot of pressure to my opponent, more than I am trying to kind of manage our point differential. I'm just trying to apply as much pressure as I can every turn by playing a really solid, consistent deck. Every card in this deck is just absolutely broken. It's just so good, it provides so much value that I don't want to play turret, and that's part of the reason for AA as well. And the other idea is that my opponent will hopefully not get too much value out of their turret, beast, and field anyway, because I'm not really going to be swinging with that many points. Normally, I'm just going to be swinging for a maximum of 3 points, so it's not that strong of a card, turret, beast, and field. And I have ways to get around them, which I'll talk about later with Guster. Uh, So yeah, I'm just trying to play consistently. So of course we play generic Sindell creatures, Pelfam, Cerberam, and Wakooman, as well as the Skeleghast and Skelepede engine, just super strong stuff. And then rather than playing a bunch of value stuff, I decided to try out Gehenna. It used to be super good, fell off a little bit, but it's still a really solid card. You get to avoid all the death effects of stuff, so you get rid of you don't have to worry about Cranston of Polysium or Ionox or any of these cards that might have some trigger when they die. You just bypass all of that by taking the creature. They can't draw any cards, getting the value of it. Normally you get 2 points by swinging, and then they have to use another one of their creatures to kill it. Sometimes you want to stall with this creature, but I found that about 60% of the time, I'm not even using the effective Gehenna that allows me to protect it, and I'm just killing it so I can immediately respond and apply more pressure to my opponent. Um, I play one touch. You could theoretically play two, but I'm really struggling to find the space for it, and also I think one is fine. I don't want to get both my Gehenna and then have two touch that are just dead cards in my deck. Combine Harvester is another great card for getting Gehenna back, so you can play 3 Gehenna every game, which is pretty hype. What's next? Alright. Yeah, so we play 2 Forces of Justice. Super strong card in this deck. This deck's kind of built around this card. Normally you're going to be wanting to use it for Skelepede or Skeleghast because that card is just super ridiculous value when you free play Skelepede and you just swing for 5 or attack and then swing for 3 and it's just really strong. You get 2 creatures for the price of 1. Yeah. And then 1 Charge Blaster, 1 Knightmare. These cards essentially serve the same purpose, which is additional removal and getting rid of annoying creatures like Thorn, Wakooman, and Aditrox, just the smaller guys, so you don't have to pay too many stars for it. Um, Also, when you have a Gehenna in play, you can't play attachments, so it might be hard to find removal. Charge Blaster serves as an additional out to removal. I used Nightmare Matter because I thought it was kind of a funny card. Because you can really only use it realistically on Thorngaborks and Aditroxes, which are pretty popular, but I think if you want a more consistent deck, I'd sub the first Nightmare out for a Charge Blaster. Alright, next we play 2 KO. KO is just a great removal option, especially when we have all these small creatures like Orbov, Thorn, and Wakooman, who we don't really want to swing directly for face for, it's not that much value, we'd rather just use them to attack with KO and kill one of our opponent's big guys. Removal is always good. One for Sail Sign, of course, because Sindell's going to be giving us a lot of stars. So we might as well use them for stuff. We have Charge Blaster, but we also have for Sail Sign. You see, we don't play a crazy amount of big creatures. A lot of the turns we can just not pay any stars, right? Skeleghast is 4, these are free, so sometimes you'll have extra stars, and if you can time this correctly, you can get a ton of value out of your sale sign. Now to use Forces of Justice, we have to have 3 creatures from different planets dead, so we'll easily get like a Sindell creature in there. But then we also need 2 more. Most of these creatures you'd actually already play anyway, but Thorn is really good to just get Forces of Justice working, same as Orbov and its protection. Since we don't play too many activators, Orbov is another way to stall, and it's nice because they can't AA, so it's a little bit more annoying to deal with. Then we play 2 Sheosian Lava Behemoth for even more removal. And there's some really cool combos I want to talk about quickly with Guster and Sheosian Lava Behemoth. So pretty much at the end of the game, what you'll find yourself doing a lot is something along the lines of Galaxy crashing, playing Guster to get rid of their resource zone, then playing Sheosian Lava Behemoth, and then you can guaranteed swing for like 7 points. Or let's say you have Phantom Matter as well. So you can like Guster, first the resource zone, then Galaxy Crash, then Sheosian Lava Behemoth, and let's say they're playing Pally, right? You can Phantom Matter their Cranch on, and then swing for 10 points. So at the end of the game, a lot of the time what you're going to be doing is using Guster to get rid of the resource zone, using some sort of removal options, maybe it's for Sail Sign. Maybe you like, if you need 5 points, you can Guster plus Sheosian Lava Behemoth KO. You don't even need Crash for that one. To just close out the game. Now I have to be active, so I'll just shake something. And at some point, you might find that your opponent starts to play around this, and they'll buy a second resource zone, so you can't just Guster. And there's 2 solutions to this. One of them is to play Sheosian Lava Behemoth and just attack straight, because then they normally it's not a big deal that you kill the resource zone because they just pay 2 stars and get it back. But if they're paying 4 stars for the second one, every time you attack with Sheosian Lava Behemoth, you're getting rid of their 4-star zone. So you're making them pay a lot more stars because they want to play around Guster. But then I've even gotten into games where I've made plays like Guster, Galaxy Crash, Forces of Justice for a second Guster, and then swing for like 8 points. I think that's like the last game I won doing that. And so you can do these really cool plays. Like, even if Guster's dead early in the game, you can get it back later, so it's always a threat to just burst for a bunch of points. So yeah, I really love this deck. Super fun, it's super consistent. To some extent, it's super consistent. Yeah, but super fun, you can do a bunch of cool stuff, and every card seems super valuable. So yeah, that's about it. I'll leave a list in the description.